Okay, so by the time that this video comes out, this means that Ghost in the Shell finally released. I think it's time for us to talk about it one more time before we let this issue go to rest. And this, for us, has been a string of just one of the many cases of whitewashing that has happened in the past year. Scarlett Johansson, because she is in the position that she is, she really hasn't responded to the controversy, really. The most that I've seen is an interview from the director, and the director was absolutely oblivious to all of the controversy that was happening.
Right.
I would like to read Scarlett Johansson's quote that she released with Marie Claire regarding the controversy. Would you mind doing the honors?
Oh, sure. Diversity is important in Hollywood, and I would never want to feel like I was playing a character that was offensive. Also, having a franchise with a female protagonist driving it is such a rare opportunity. Certainly, I feel the enormous pressure of that, the weight of such a big property on my shoulders. What are you thinking, Chris?
You go first.
Oh, that first line especially. Oh, diversity is so important, but none of the rest of what she's saying really points to that, other than what she's saying about representation for women. But this conversation isn't about representation for women. Well, obviously, it's great, a woman is in the lead.
But we would have had a woman if it was an Asian woman.
Right, I was going to say that. And the character was a woman, so I didn't think they were going to gender bend that in any case.
Yeah.
But she doesn't understand that there's been so many instances of lost opportunities for Asian Americans, really, in media in the past few years. And she's just another cog in that. And I feel similar to how Tilda responded, it was very
But isn't this great for women? Everyone?
Right.
Anyone?
It's very kind of white feminist, I'll say, and it could have been an Asian woman that it could have been a breakout role for, and we could have seen more representation for.
Yes.
Because she's saying that's good for women, and I will argue that there's plenty of white women in media, at least to look up to nowadays. But if you're sticking up for women, what about Asian women? What about young Asian girls that aren't seeing themselves enough in media?
Yeah, it's
to see their heroes.
It's this very unintentional way that a lot of white actresses have done, where they attempt to pit feminism against race
right.
in a way. I know that she's not intending on saying this, but she is saying the message to me, at least, that if you don't like what I'm doing, then you must be against women, because this is great for women, right? You have to understand that if you're going to be writing for women, you have to be writing for women of different races and their own struggles as well. You can't just say there's a woman in this movie, so I don't understand what people are talking about.
Right. She's almost talking about women as if all women are just this one monolithic, homogenous structure, and that all women are treated equally. And if we start treating some women better, it means everyone will be treated better. But then you have to consider the intersection of race within that, and
exactly
how not all women are treated.
Not just race, gender identity. It honestly bites me even more that she was asked to speak at the DC march for the Women's March.
Right, I heard about that.
There were obviously other women that could have that didn't have the lack of intersectionality that she did. I'm trying to speak very carefully because I don't want to sound like I'm highly critical of the Women's March movement itself, because I'm not. When you're invited to speak at those events, you're held up as this symbol of feminism at that moment.
Yeah.
I would have rather get more people like America Ferrera to speak as opposed to Scarlett Johansson. This might be nitpicky, but I'd also like to point out her quote saying that I would never want to feel like I was playing a character that was offensive. That's too bad, honey, because you're playing an offensive character. You're being offensive.
Yeah, it's again very much that strand of taking it very personally, where it's obviously we're attacking you to some extent, but it's not because we're just you're a bad person and that's it. But there's a lot of context behind that. And you're just this cog of this machine that's continually denying Asian American opportunities. Obviously that extends to the directors and the whole casting process. But definitely as the person that is actively standing in that role, there's responsibility there that isn't being taken into account.
Yes, I understand that there's no malice in your heart when you do these things, but but that doesn't change the fact that I'm being hurt by this, and that doesn't change the fact that you're being a problem. It's the same where I have no malice in my heart when I buy clothes from a certain brand, but that doesn't change the fact that that brand might be using child labor to create their clothing.
Exactly.
What ScarJo is doing in this analogy is saying that I don't support child labor. I'm still gonna buy from this clothing store though.
Right. How I want to frame it is that ScarJo, do you care about young Asian American girls growing up seeing themselves reflected in media. And I really hope that she does say yes, because again, I don't want to be like, you're just automatically a bad person. I just think that you're not aware of this context.
Not to discredit her, but I do think that like she would say it just because like obviously she doesn't see herself as a bad person.
Right.
You know, like I think the issue is like this disconnect between like implementation and thought.
Right.
Because like I don't doubt that she thinks that diversity is important, and I don't doubt that a lot of these white producers and creators think that it's important. But I think they're just unused to the extra work of what you need to do to actually like say that through action and not just with lip service. Because Definitely. I think that's unfortunately what a lot of companies and a lot of higher up people in power do. Yeah. Is just providing lip service by saying that like, yeah, of course diversity is important. Like I never used the N-word before. Like.
Right. It's reactive rather than proactive.
When are you gonna see it?
I'm probably not going to see it.
I'm joking.
I think I have better. Yeah, I was like, I have better things to do with my time, like watching films like Get Out, and I need to watch Moonlight as well.
You haven't watched Moonlight yet?
I haven't watched Moonlight yet.
Instead of watching the movie Ghost in the Shell, why don't you watch the original Ghost in the Shell? For actual Asian people, maybe. And watch Fresh Off the Boat. Watch some more of my videos. Watch actual Asian content.
Yeah. Watched Dr. Ken.
And consume consume Leo's music.
Thanks, Chris.
Like that segue that I did right there?
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
That's my new EP, and if you want to check it out, go for it.
It's an amazing album. I listened to it all day in my car on Tidal. It's very geared towards the Asian American experience, which is great. And he worked really hard to get it on all of the main platforms. His album art is a great reference to Journey to the West. It's a modern Asian American person, doesn't have to be gendered. The other half is Sun Wukong from Journey to the West. Cool. So thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. As always, donate to Angry Asian Man. I'm very proud. Both of us are very proud to be represented by him on the internet. He always calls out bullshit when he sees it. He is a great voice if you're looking to get a better idea about what the Asian American experience is. We will see you later. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Goodbye. Don't watch it.